Let's go to Akwatsire. Maybe you'll be thinking, where is Akwatsire? It's in the Greater Accra region, not far from us. It's in Amasaman constituency and Gan West municipality. There is an issue there that the various authorities are trying to address when it comes to schools under trees. In recent times, we've been talking about schools. And even when we went for This is Ghana, we saw desk or furniture that are made in Ghana.
Made in Ghana,
decks
so
and all
clean.
that. So you can actually get some for these schools. So we actually bring you these stories so that you can also help in your own small way, yeah, so that at least we can have decent classrooms and also sort of furniture for pupils and students for teaching and learning to go on. Akwatsire, the school, the students or the pupils are battling with their infrastructure and also sitting under trees. But our colleague, Kennedy Chumesi, who visited the community and filed this report. Let's air the report after we have conversations on that.
It was in 2022 when ChannelOne News first highlighted the plight of students of Akwatsire Primary School in the Amasaman constituency. A heavy rainstorm had destroyed their school building, forcing both pupils and teachers to hold classes under trees. Years on, lessons still take place under trees where children endure the scorching sun, dust and wind, all in the pursuit of education. For many pupils, concentration is a daily battle. The headmaster of the school lamented that the lack of permanent classrooms has crippled effective teaching and learning. He explained how teachers are often compelled to abandon lessons whenever the weather changes.
While the children were suffering, learning under this harsh condition, teachers was also facing difficulties in terms of where to sit and mark, and they have to be rotating according to where the sun directs them. And sometimes stray animals, cattle and birds and other things will just ease around, and some too will drop on their decks and other things. So it has been very worrisome over the years.
Though support came from the assembly member who provided a 3-unit pavilion, it offered only temporary relief. The absence of windows, inadequate space, and limited desks continue to hamper teaching and learning. The assembly member described the situation as a stain on the dignity of the community.
Sometimes when it blows, the weather becomes cloudy and others. You will see that they all run to this small building, which only occupied the KG students. So it gets to a point, it was very devastating. I'll really create on the indulgence of Get Fund. Since now the Get Fund has been open, or the cap has been open, they should try very hard and come in for us. We need at least 6-unit class from basic 1 to 6.
The Member of Parliament for the area admits the situation is dire, but says he is engaging Get Fund to support the school with permanent infrastructure. His assurance follows the commissioning of a 3-unit classroom block for the junior high school.
2022, I was invited back here because there was a rainstorm that collapsed the pavilion we built in 2019 to accommodate the children. I happen to be a board member of the Microcredit Association of Ghana. So I took the matter to the board to help build a permanent structure for the people of Akwatsire, because we didn't have anything here. They were only pavilion. So if the pavilion is gone down, where are the kids going to sit to study? God being so good, the board bought into the idea. We came to the assembly to take a permit to build a permanent structure. I actually spoke to the Select Committee Chairman for Education in Parliament, and he's assured me that he's going to assist me get fund to help build a 6-unit classroom, because they don't have a primary block. What you see is the sheds. So he's assured me from here we'll try and push and see if Get Fund can actually help build a 6-unit.
While that provides relief for the JHS students, the primary pupils remain under trees waiting for government intervention to secure proper classrooms. On the spot, the municipal chief executive acknowledged the dire challenges confronting the pupils and pledged his commitment to champion development drives in the municipality, particularly in remote areas like Akwatsire.
Our vision as municipal assembly is to ensure that
at least much more will be provided to the remote areas in terms of education. I'm looking forward to renovate the existing structures, because we have seen that most of the educational facilities, buildings that we have, haven't seen paint since they were built. And if you go in there, sometimes the potholes you see in the classrooms is uncalled for.
Chris, you're amazed.
I'm amazed because, like, just like I said off camera, this is Accra. The same Accra we live in. Wow, just here.
Yeah.
Amasama.
Few meters away from this
Like,
place.
I can't believe it.
You can't believe it. Why?
I don't know. I just can't believe it. And it breaks my heart.
And
it breaks my heart so much looking at there's one of the kids that I looked into his eye and I felt like, this guy's frustrated.
He was.
This boy doesn't want to be in this school. Like, he doesn't want to be here.
And you ask yourself that, will a teacher be willing
this
to
guy,
this
guy. He's
this
so
boy.
frustrated. He's like, nope, this is not
like,
my life.
This is not where I have to be.
Nope.
And it's not far from us. Akwatsire in the Amasaman constituency is in Ghana West. So the MP is trying with the various stakeholders. They put up a 3-unit block for teaching and learning to go on. Yeah. But there is still more to be done.
Yeah.
More must be done. See, recently the basic education certificate examination was written.
Yeah.
And the results have come. These children are now going to the senior high school. We understand WASI is also being written. But the question we keep asking is, how is the education we are giving to our wards or the students going to be like, looking at the fact that, like, the gap is too huge.
It's too huge.
You would have a particular student or a group of people in a school that they have everything, like well-endowed schools. And you have a school like Akwatsire, basic preparatory or basic JSS or basic school, that the students are even having issues as to where they will sit and learn, or where teaching and learning would go on, where they'll study. And the bigger problem is, are we really taking stock of all these things and trying to help them in the near future? Because, like you can see out there, the fact that they've even brought their desk outside and they are studying under tree is a big problem. Yeah,
it's a big problem, and we do not realize, and you know, we do not realize that this also affects the effectiveness of teaching. You understand? This affects how the teacher also feels to churn out what he's putting out to the kids. And also, apart from the teacher, this has a psychological effect when it comes to the students. So it's a student and staff thing. It goes hand in hand. The teacher is not comfortable. The teacher is not doing his best because he's just not feeling it.
So I go to school and I'm supposed to be under a tree. Anytime there is a downpour, the rain is about to, or the clouds form, then we are supposed to call it a day. Students are supposed to go home, or pupils are supposed to go home. Then what happens to the curriculum or the syllabus that had to be covered? You understand? So it makes life very difficult every now and then. But joining us is the Municipal Chief Executive for Ghana West. Let's understand what really the issue is and how the Assembly is working around to ensure that the issues of this nature are addressed. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, sir.
I trust you're doing well.
I'm very well, Philip.
First of all, I want to find out from you, Akwatsire, is it very far from the Amasaman area? Is it a rural community, or how is it like? If you can tell us the details of that community.
Yes, Philip, good morning to all your listeners, and thank you very much, ChannelOne TV, for always partnering us as far as development is concerned, and also for the role you played in getting the highway, the Francois Road, to running. So I want to give you this accreditation for the good work you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you also to coming into this educational sector. I think that to give you an overview, Down West is the third biggest municipality in the whole Ghana. Whilst people are boasting of having about 94 polling stations, 110 polling stations, we are boasting of over 300 polling stations. Okay? So when it comes to size, you know what I'm talking about. In terms of population, land size, Down West stretches all the way from the boundaries of Akwatsire to the Sansam, sharing the Ekwapim Hills or Buri, all the way to Samam, and then far away to aspects of Weja, Kaswa down there. And Akwatsire is on the boundary towards Kaswa. So it's a very far away from Amasaman. And it's one of the areas that attention hasn't been on for, the past maybe 2 decades. So the issue of Akwatsire is also because the route to that place is very bad, and also I think politically we haven't, focused in developing the outskirts. So this is a challenge, and this is what I'm intending to do. That the less developed areas, I'm going to actually focus and make sure that I bring all of them to the table.
So another question I want to ask is that what you've gathered on the grounds, how many students or pupils have been displaced following the fact that they have to sit under trees to study?
Okay. So we had about over 100 people being displaced. However, I think there have been a unique intervention from our Member of Parliament, Honorable Sedema Penyo, and the Assembly Member, and a few concerned individuals who have come to the aid. And today we can boast of having a three-unit classroom block.
All right. I also want to ask, are there any contingency plan put in place, let's say when they occupy the 3-unit classroom and it still doesn't fit everyone, or it still doesn't, suffice for everyone to fit in?
Okay. The details is that, prior to we assuming office, there was a storm that displaced the entire structure. There was a shed they were standing under, and when it was displaced, the Member of Parliament came in and saw the need to support. So he got some partners to help him, microcredit Ghana. However, the actual shed was meant for a junior high school. So therefore, he considered having just that. But prior to that, Get Fund had mentioned, and they had plans to build a 6-unit block for the primary section, which we thought that because of that, let's focus on the junior high school. I've been with the MP in all his rounds, so we saw this completed. However, we started this 3-unit classroom for the JSS. We've been able to complete it, but Get Fund hadn't even started, or they don't even have foundation. So we are asking if they're going to continue, they should. Otherwise, we're also appealing to other partners to come to the aid of Akwatsire.
Right.
So as it stands now, the provision has been made for students in the junior level. What happens to class 6 downwards until Get Fund comes in? Are we still going to have the issue of the infrastructure challenge? And also, are they still going to be under trees?
We have a shed that we have erected, so that's where they are. And then they have an old building that they are managing. So for now, they are not under the tree, they are under the shed, and we hope that together with other partners, we can do something temporary. However, I think where we are now, Ghana has gone beyond just doing something temporary. We have to come in with aggressiveness, drastic measures to make sure that within a short possible time, we can do something permanent for them. And if you look at our DACF allocations, there wasn't anything specific to say that those structures talk about furniture, providing furniture here and there. and every allocation is tied. So it's very difficult to say that you are going to take funds from other places to do other things. However, my plan is to come out with robust fund mobilization, like internal generated fund mobilization strategies. So this is what I'm embarking on, so that if we are able to generate funds internally, we can be able to take some of these initiatives as an assembly. And as I always say, when you are chosen or appointed as a leader, you have to go extra mile to be able to prove yourself. So I want to go and do some of these things but the first thing is to be able to mobilize funds and take some of these important initiatives.
In time past, there was some announcement from the local government minister then under the previous administration that some sort of auditing should be done for schools that are under trees in the Gun West municipality, specifically in the Amasaman constituency. As the new MC for the area, what has been the conversation between yourself and, say, the education ministry like when it comes to education in your municipality?
Okay. We have what we call MIOC committee, which is Municipal Education Committee. And so we've had a meeting, and we are having another one on Friday. And I have come out with my own slide of presentation to tell them where we want to go, like directives. You know, I have to blend my vision for education with government directives and also the municipal research, aspirations. So what we're doing at the moment is that whatever research they have, I have also conducted an independent committee to go around and give me. It's not only about even building structures. There are some school buildings that haven't seen paint, like decoration, since it was built in 1919. You know what I mean? And there are some without windows, and even there are some with potholes in there. So my father was a teacher. So when I do this, I do it for Mother Ghana and I also do it for myself or my daddy. He so rest in peace. So the call to do this is to do like proper audit of the educational system structures and everything, and make sure that whilst we are building structures, teaching and learning materials are also available. And sometimes I don't want to concentrate on only government alone. We call on partners who are interested in education to come to our aid, give us the material, give us whatever you could give us. The same applies to hospitals, so that at least at the end of the day, Amasaman being one of the biggest municipalities, we are not deprived. And if you look at how the allocations, the common fund allocations came about, down west, we were one of the few people who, I don't want to say this here, but what I'm trying to say is that when you look at the factors that went into allocating District Assembly Common Fund, I feel that next time we, the municipal chief executives and MPs, we should also be consulted. But there are so many things we have to bring to light for some of these awards to be considered. I'm saying this because whatever we have, which is the best we've had so far, which we all appreciate that, sometimes you find some disparities that they are not too happy about. So far as Gun West is concerned, as far as our size is concerned, how remotely the towns or villages are, a lot more needs to be done. I don't think there is any municipality that has wider roads than us. We have 1,685 kilometer roads. Only 5% are motorable. I'm talking about inner roads and stuff like that. So if we want to bring it to standards, if you want to make Gun West competitive, it means that we have to do a bit more. And as you are aware, from the North Ashanti region, Eastern region, when you get to Amasaman, you are in Accra. So my vision is to develop communities through industries, bring industries around. So all the people who are flying to Accra, to congest Accra, who will be stuck around Gun West, have all the basic amenities, have proper schools for their children to stay in, have work to do, and all sorts of things, so that they don't go to Accra. Because when you get to Amasaman, you are in Accra. So if the borderlines, if we can have this infrastructure there, that can attract people, you can see that the idea of decongesting Accra can be achieved. And this is one of the things I want to do. Develop communities through industrialization. We are calling upon all partners, all industries, foreign and local, to just consider Gun West a gateway to Accra.
This is very important. Thank you so much, Honorable John Desmond Soa Nai, who is the Municipal Chief Executive for Okan West. That is a very good one. We'll have the Member of Parliament on the line shortly. But Chris, the question I asked him, in 2022, 6th June, a story was published, right? And this came from the Minister of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, Dan Boche, under the new Patriotic Party administration, the NPP administration. And the minister then requested for a detailed report on school buildings in deplorable state within the Okan West municipality in the Greater Accra region. This request came on the back of a CTTV report, now ChannelOne TV, that was aired on Monday, May 30, 2022, which highlighted students of Akwatsire, the same school, MA Business School in Amasaman, Accra, studying under trees. The students and teachers have had a difficult time taking lessons in this rainy season, and as they are forced to close classes anytime there is a downpour. In a statement that came from the minister then, said that he was asking for a detailed report on the status of schools in the municipality as follows. I'll bring you details, but then that report was filed by Akwatsire and now presidential correspondent. We're having on the line Sedem Apenyo, who is the Member of Parliament for Amasaman. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
I trust you're doing well.
I'm doing well.
We understand you've gone into sort of give some respite, let me put it that way, for students of Akwatsire for the JSS level. Tell us to details about that project and we ask further questions.
All right. So this is actually a project that caught my eye in 2019 when I was actually going for my first elections in 2020.
Wow.
The school didn't have any form of permanent structure. So I supported them to actually build this pavilion kind of structure. But then in 2022, there was a rainstorm that raised down the structure we built. So at that point, I realized that if we continue to do these temporary structures, it's not going to help us because it's money we are spending. I happen to be a board member of the Microcredit Association of Ghana. So I tabled this at a board meeting and asked that we use that as a corporate social responsibility project for that community. So the board bought into the idea in 2022. So 2023, the project started. Last week, Friday, we actually handed it over to the community. What actually happened was that we wanted to do a 6-unit classroom block, but we were told that Get Fund was about starting a 6-unit. So we decided to do the 3 units that will be for the JHS block. But unfortunately, we are done with the JHS and then we still don't have the 6 units.
And what is Get Fund telling you concerning the 6-unit classroom block?
I'm yet to. I've spoken to the Select Committee Chairman of Education in Parliament, and he has agreed to go with me to Get Fund to see the status of that. But he was out of the country. He's back now. So tomorrow, hopefully, we'll visit Get Fund and then know the status of that.
Well, let's understand the woes of these students or pupils. What really do they go through concerning or seeing the fact that they are compelled to sit under trees or sit in makeshift structures, which we call classrooms?
So what they go through is that where they sit to study, whenever the weather is bad, they have to close and leave. Because when there's rain, they can't sit under trees to study. When there's a bit of windy condition, where they sit, the water gets into the classroom, so they have to close. And this has continued for some time now. So you realize that the enrollment even in that school is quite slow because there will not be motivation. And I equally worry for the teachers as well, the teachers who teach in a school called Akwatsire, where to even sit to mark scripts or sit when classes is not going on is a problem.
You mean they don't have a teacher's common room, or
even the students don't have a place to sit to study? How much more common room? So there is a nursery block that has been built there for, I think, for about the past 12 years. When you enter that nursery building, it's been partitioned in such a way that part of it is class 1, part of it is class 2, part of it is the head teacher's office. and then a storeroom. That is how bad the situation is.
Wow.
Right. Honorable, so how many students are we looking at in total?
I can't be too sure of the number, but they are over 200.
They're over 200.
Yes.
And if you ever have the meeting with Get Fund and maybe they are not forthcoming or not ready to put on those blocks in any time soon, what will be your next step?
Well, I doubt if Get Fund will say they wouldn't help put up a structure. But aside that, every district I know is supposed to put up a primary block, a JSS block, and a nursery block. So if Get Fund will not work, the assembly one, that's the district assembly one, can be positioned at Akwatsire. I've actually discussed with the MC, so we are looking at going to Get Fund first. If it doesn't work, then the one the district assembly is supposed to build, we will consider Akwatsire.
Right. So how long did it take you to actually put on the 3 blocks? And how long will it take you to put an extra one, I mean the extra 3 or the extra 6 that it's needed?
I didn't get your question right.
So how long did it take you, what time frame did it take you to put on the 3 blocks?
Oh, okay. It took us about 2 years. You know, initially, because I was a parliamentary candidate then, I had difficulties in even securing a permit, a building permit to start the project.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yes, there was this back and forth, and you go and they ask you to come tomorrow and all that. Before finally we are given the green light. So it took us about 2 years, averagely about 2 years to put up that structure.
Yeah, so if you were to put up another structure now, it wouldn't take up to 2 years, hopefully.
So if there is money available, it shouldn't even take up to 1 year to complete.
Okay.
Because what you see, it was actually members of the association that contributed money to put up that structure you see there.
So with the 3 classroom block was privately funded?
Yes, it was privately funded. So the building you see there was privately funded. After the building, I finished the whole place. That's the classroom decks the kids are sitting on, and then that's in the headmaster's office. I personally did the finishing myself.
Wow. Now, we know Akwatsire is the focus. Are there other places in your constituency that you would want to also give some sort of attention to when it comes to infrastructure or education-wise?
Yes, I think almost all the school buildings we have, most of them have problems. You know, some of them are quite old. So when it rains, there's leakage from the roof. The furniture in the classroom, almost all the schools have furniture problems.
And which schools are, if you could mention?
Oh, a lot of them. Kutunse, MA, Saplema, Kobikofe, almost all the schools in the constituency.
You are carrying a lot of load.
We have about 78 schools in Amasaman. Yes, because the constituency is quite big. So we have about 78 government schools. As I'm speaking to you, the furniture I donated to Akwatsire, I've constructed extra. I'm going to donate to the municipal education office on Friday. Because what happens in Amasaman, if your child is going to school, you are being asked to come with a desk, else the child didn't get a place to sit.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
In Accra?
Yes. It's very in Greater Accra.
No, your child has to bring a desk?
They must come along with a desk, because the child wouldn't have a place to sit.
Which school? Let us know the school that we can bring our cameras there.
Most of the government schools, and these are reports I got from parents.
Wow.
That is what gave me the motivation. I did a couple of this desk donation before 2020, because a parent came to me to come and ask for support to buy a desk to take her ward to school.
So when that does not happen, what happens? Do they send the parent back? Do they send the student back? Or they say, oh, since you don't have a desk, you have to sit on the floor?
On the floor?
Well, they do well to get a desk. So when you come to my constituency, along the roadside, you see carpenters selling this, either a mono desk or a dual desk. It's very common, because when it's time to go to school, parents will have to buy. But we are trying to put in much effort to end this thing. So my focus in terms of education when it comes to Amasaman is to help to fight the desks and then do a bit of renovation with the infrastructure, especially the roof. Some of the schools also run the shift system. Some of the schools in Amasaman also run the shift system. So what we are trying to look at is to help build pavilions to try and accommodate the excesses we have so that the kids can go to school at the same time and close at the same time.
Right. But I just want to ask, have you ever thought of their grades? How are their grades compared to other schools in other municipalities? Have you ever thought you should do that sort of assessment so you know what's really going on, if this is affecting them in any way?
Well, I've not done the assessment, but going round, if I compare when I speak to other colleagues who are MPs, the number of schools I have in my constituency, I can see they have far less the numbers I have. I compared notes with one other colleague, and I realized that this issue of furniture is not actually happening in other constituencies. That's in Greater Accra. It's just that I feel the population here, we have about 300,000 people living in Amasaman. And definitely, as it's a developing area, people can keep moving to this place. People come to settle here. So definitely the population of kids we have in schools will definitely be increasing. But unfortunately, the increase in population is not matching with the infrastructure. So people are moving here to settle here, but we are not getting enough infrastructure to match the population growth.
Okay, so I'm sure there are measures or there are strategies you've put in place to sort of solve this problem in your own small way. If you can outline these things for us, and also other plans to engage maybe donor partners or organizations to also come to the aid of pupils or students in your municipality.
Yes, so what I've done so far, we have a couple of roofing companies in Amasaman, so I've written to all of them for support. So that the schools that have leaking roofs, at least those ones can be changed. I've written to other corporate institutions for support. The assembly will be my last point of this. So I've started with the MCE. We try to locate communities that are more deprived, so that a couple of these government projects we are supposed to do will consider some of these communities first. Then Get Fund as well. Even yesterday, I had a conversation with someone at Get Fund, telling them that at least if all communities are, or if all consensus are going to be considered maybe with 5-unit classroom block or 10, we should be given more because our population here is quite huge.
Anyway, so if we are to put our cameras on another school in your constituency, which school will it be?
Well, maybe you can look at Kojo Ashon. That is also in the same electoral area where we have Akwatsire. Yes, we can look at Kojo Ashon. And then Mahia, Maira, the structures are there, but they are not really in good state.
They're in deplorable state.
Yeah. A couple of the roofs are not in good condition. When it rains, the classrooms leak.
Well, Honorable, but how do you sleep at night? Because it seems like you have a lot of load on your shoulder.
It's quite difficult, but we are managing. So what I try to do is to, even there was a time in Kutunse, I actually moved from church to church. Wow. That was when I was a parliamentary candidate. I went around with the assembly member. We went to some of the churches. Some gave us 1,000, some gave us 2,000. But at the end of the day, my part of the money will be the larger share. So I add up, and then we roofed a whole 6-unit classroom. It cost us almost about 90,000 cedis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Honorable, any final words from you before we you take leave of us?
Well, I'll still use the opportunity to appeal to corporate Ghana to support the people of Amasaman, especially when it comes to education. My constituents are struggling. I know government is doing its best to support us, but then I'm sure corporate Ghana can also equally support to try and alleviate this issue of kids coming to school with desk and then kids having to close when it's not time to close because the rents are in. So corporate Ghana should please come to our aid. We will be very happy to get a lot of support from corporate Ghana.
Thank you, Honorable. We are grateful for your time, and keep doing the good job in your constituency. Said an opinion, and he has told that what the issue is in his constituency. 78 schools, with a lot having issues when it comes to infrastructure. And the students or the pupils are supposed to move to their various homes when ever the cloud forms. And you want them to sit in the same examination hall with their peers in the
Other
bigger schools.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying that it's not everybody that will have the resources when it comes to pushing your ward to that grade A school or grade B schools. But if you are able to create a conducive environment for all, it's better. It's like inclusivity or whatever the word. Good. So you get everybody involved and we move. But if people are far behind and others are ahead, I don't think that we will bridge the gap when it comes to education in this country.
Because honestly, those kids are more stressed than adults.
They are. And the fact that your mom is supposed to look for money or your dad is supposed to look for money, buy desk, a furniture for you to carry to school, then now they'll place it somewhere, they'll adjust you in the school so you can get somewhere to sit and learn. It's a big problem. But the question is, are we not taxpayers? They are all paying taxes. Something must be done about all these things. Something must be done. At least if the infrastructure is created or is built, like the Akwatsire school, for instance, they are asking for in 2022, the local government minister requested for the audit or the list of schools in deplorable state. If something was done, I'm sure we wouldn't be here by now.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be having the documents or we shouldn't be having details on our tables, on the shelves, collecting dust and all that, and nothing is done about it. Like Chris, you can see that boy. He's frustrated. Like he's really off. He's asking himself.
He's clearly the poster picture of child frustration and stress. This is too much.
He's asking himself, is this how it's going to be for a very long time? And until when will I get out of this space? Because see, it took 2 good years to put up a 3-unit classroom block because it's privately financed. And what if the money wasn't there at all?
That's what I was saying.
So the building or the structure will be there and it's not going to be completed. And now they need a 6-unit classroom block. And Chris also asked, this is in the Greater Accra region. Yes, this is in the Greater Accra region. It's not far away from us. It's the gateway to Accra, or to Accra, because when you're coming from Kumasi, Ashanti region, Eastern region, thereabout, you enter to Accra through either Amasaman or Ebri, thereabout.
And you know, whether we like it or not, this sort of situation actually affects the child's social and emotional growth because he or she cannot interact with their peers. They are always going to feel lower than their peers. They will never have the confidence that those other people have. So it sort of affects them socially and emotionally. That just, it just churns out the kind of adults that we see in society. You understand? We keep saying, we don't say our mind, the people are slow, the people are quiet, because it's from the upbringing. These are some of the things that just make people swallow everything. Become timid because they think this is the way forward. So when they see children that are in better states, they cannot even compete with them. They cannot have the courage to speak to them. So this affects their emotional and social growth. And apart from that, their physical health, like the place is just open. We don't know what the sanitation there looks like.
Battling with reptile.
You understand?
You come home in the morning and there's a goat lying on the desk waiting for you to replace it. It's just sad. Something must be done about it. And I think that the MP, the MC, the assembly member, they have started something good. But they can't finish. And I think they can't do everything by themselves.
And yes, we should actually give them kudos. I think they're doing really well.
Yeah. For this,
especially coming from their pockets. Like, I think they're doing really well.
For this, good job to the assembly member. Good job to the MC. Good job to the MP, but more must be done, like he indicated.
Yeah, so if corporate Ghana, please, if anyone is watching and, is interested in giving back to the society,
Corporate Ghana, don't worry. When you are going, just call us.
These are some of the
we would see how best we
want.
can also push this agenda, because that's what we are sitting here to do. Just inform us that you are going to Akwatsire to donate this amount of money for the project to go on, because see, we will tell the story and empower the change that is needed. We need to change certain things. These children are what we will say the next generation, but how are we preparing the next generation to take up the roles that we are having now? If we do not prepare them well, we don't create the conducive environment for them to learn, to teach. And the teachers are even there. You could see some of the teachers, they're laughing because nothing to do, nothing. So we just sit down.
This does not also create like, this creates a lack of security for the teachers. Because I'm a teacher, but come on, is this where I want to be?
Yeah.
Is this really where I want to be?
Well, we will talk. We can't do more than that, but we also advocate that at least people would come in and help the people of Akwatsire MA School so that they can get befitting places to study and also conducive environment to stay, so that they can also compete with their peers in the well-endowed schools. This is still Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne TV. We'll go for this quick break. When we come back, we'll have more for you on the show.